what's up, everybody? I want to welcome y'all to Midnight Marauders. This is our premiere week. I want everyone to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at midnightmarauderstv. I am the one and only TV Tef.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to all our outlets. It's your boy Rico, for them things, Bandz.
Brother you love to hate, Kiongozi.
And we are the Midnight Marauders.
Baby. I want to invite everybody to go out to Sneakertopia. If you're out there on the West Coast, it's one of the greatest contributions to sneaker history. I want to give a shout out to Sneakertopia.
Shout out Sneakertopia.
Once again, as we look to find the greatest rap album of all times, today we are reviewing another classic. This classic is by the artist known as T.I. or T.I.P. or Trouble Man. This is his album King. My first thoughts, this is my favorite T.I.P. album. My favorite song is actually two. Why You Wanna Go, oh my God, Why You Wanna, and In the Sky. I'll pass on to y'all.
Let me get this out of the way. Expeditiously, King. My favorite song on here was What You Know About That. Obviously, it was like the whole movie thing, you know. ATL movie was out around this time, and these classic album nostalgia just plays a huge part. And I remember moving to my first crib and everything when this album was out, and What You Know About That was, you know, I fucks with that.
Yeah. Perfect album. Like, it's Bankhead, What You Know About It, Undertaker. That's from, I just gave you bottom, top, and middle. You know what I'm saying? About to get into it, though.
Let's get into our first category. Our first category is production. For T.I.P. on King, I gave it a. I mean, production was solid. He had production from everybody, with whatever. But you know, Toomp do his thing regardless. So I thought it had a nice range of production. It had a little bit of everything. It had the party records. It had the girl record. It had all that.
I gave it a 9 on the production side because he had a handful of producers and pretty much it was a constant flow. Like, this producer gave you this producer gave you that, this producer gave you this, and it was just a constant flow.
Yep, I gave him a 9 as well in the production. You had all of the big time guys, all the who's of producers. They're on here at some point, and I just think it was solid. It was gutter, you know. You had Stank Face a lot on the album, you know. Solid. It was solid.
Okay. Well, let's get into the next category, originality. For originality, I gave T.I.P. an 8. I probably could have gave one higher. I mean, he is who he is. Don't get me wrong. His style is his, and maybe I probably should have gave it a 9. He's T.I. You know what I mean? But you know, at the time, Southern music, you know, it was everywhere. Him being the leader of it, maybe I should probably reconsider what I gave him. But you know, I gave it an 8, which is a high score.
Originality? Originality, I gave him a 10. T.I., this the king, man. This ain't no peasant. Yeah, this the king of all that I survey. That's this Tip Town. This talking about Atlanta. That's the king. That's Cliff. That's expeditiously.
I gave it a 10. For the most part, he was on different things, beefing with different people. He was on their ass, making it a good album. Still, like, the songs were there, but he was on their ass as far as dissing them and making sure they know who he was addressing. I gave it a 10.
He said dictating, taking orders from no one but God.
No one but God.
That's the king.
All right, next category. Let's get into personality. I gave it a 10. I mean, when you ranking album artists against each other, he's got to be one you compare it to when you talk about personality. His personality is everywhere. It's oozing. Everybody can tell you so much about his character. His character is there. It's well defined. like E40. You know what I mean? It's there.
10. Nothing else to say.
10. King. If in case you forgot, I'm the king.
Our next category, lyricism. Lyricism for T.I. Now this is a little bit more difficult for me as a guy that, I'm really into writing. And when I talk about writing, I'm talking about like book writing, story writing, movie writing. I gave it an 8. I don't believe, I think T.I. is a great writer, but I don't really believe he uses all the writing tools that a CeeLo Green would use. Like even Lil Wayne, like Lil Wayne, he uses metaphors probably way too much, but, T.I., if I'm comparing him to those Biggie, I'm going to give him an 8.
I gave it a 9. Pretty much painting pictures and putting me in places in that album as far as like, you know what I'm saying, get in the car, ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he telling me, not a story, but you know what I'm saying? He pointing here, letting me know what this is, what we do about this. I gave him a 9.
Rico. Oh my. Did you hit the nail on the head? Talking about somebody transporting you with them. Come on.
I'm from Cleveland.
It was a song that didn't make this album called Hand to the Lord, right? It's crazy, but I remember it.
It's on the mixtape.
Yeah, it's on this mixtape, but it was supposed to be on this album, just didn't make it. Said 17-year-olds, we was younger than y'all. Was a few people hitting licks. We hung with them all. He say some shit like that in it, right? I'm sitting there remembering that. Sitting there like, yeah. I fucks with that. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? And T.I. just take you riding, like you say, you riding with him, man, and you going to go on that adventure and you're going to get teleported from wherever the hell you at your job, if you gigging. You're going to say, yeah, I could be out there in the streets too, smelling them smells, seeing clucks, fiends.
All right, let's get into the next category.
T.I. write it that way.
Next category, sound quality. Sound quality for this, I gave it probably another 8. It was badass. Don't get me wrong, and to me, an 8 is still badass. But once again, it wasn't a Dr. Dre album. It wasn't it wasn't a Rick Ross album. But it was badass. It was up there. It wasn't missing the elements. It wasn't missing the beat.
I gave it a 9. It was like one song. I don't know if it was like on my album, but it was like one song to where like it was a mixing mistake or something. I can't pinpoint it exactly, but it was like a mixing mistake, and that, you know what I'm saying, it kind of like threw me off. Like the song would go and then boom, it skip to something real quick. So that's why I gave it a 9. But
I gave it a 9. No, it wasn't Michael Jackson quality, but as far as what the music that he was producing, for that, it was definitely highest level of strip club music. Like, so shit. Got a 9. Okay.
Next category. Let's see where we gonna go here. Song construction. Damn, I guess I'm kind of still in that box right now. I gave it an 8. I mean, me, when it comes to our construction, I'm a big fan of ALC shit, and the Dr. Dre shit. And I'm a Midnight Marauder. You know what I mean? I love music that got all type of shit. I like shit coming out of the ceiling. Why the beats start going backwards, and why it ain't had that? But they were constructed right.
9. Coming from the South, Southern, you know what I'm saying, Southern artist, and he directed it how he wanted to direct his album, and the sound was there in that era, in that time. The sound was there, and it was a nice body of work.
I gave it an 8 because this is the takeover had happened. The takeover had happened. It was the South. Sorry if anybody didn't understand what was going on. The South had took over, and the rain was starting to happen then, and he staked his claim. And that style of music that they wanted to put out, the trap music, this was it. And it didn't have to have with respect to the pings and the pongs, ain't have to have that because that's not what they was looking for. If an album like, let's say, 101 from Jeezy to me is a 10. This is definitely, I probably should up this because it's right on par to me, especially with like the hits,
Okay.
you know. So construction of the album just had to just flow the way it was flowing
Okay.
because that's the way that the originators of the trap music wanted it to
Okay.
go. So
Okay.
it's on
So
purpose.
next category would be relatability. To me, this is his strongest category. I mean, to me, I give T.I. a 10 in relatability. I feel like everybody knows a T.I. Everybody they relate to that confidence. They relate to that person. They got that cousin. That's them. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, my brother was known for saying he don't believe you can give anybody a 10 in relatability, but I do really believe that. Most people that listen to rap music can relate to T.I. But I do understand how a person in the pop world couldn't. But we ain't from that world. So I gave him a 10.
I gave him a 10. Gave him a 10. I ain't really got to, I mean, I would like to, if you can't relate to T.I., then you just can't relate to T.I., but, hey, you know, sorry.
Then it is. Simple as that. No explanation.
Okay.
Late
So
nights in the
we
trap.
all agree on that. Next category is emotion. I gave him a 9. I mean, he T.I.P. He never been known for being shy of telling the person, being vulnerable. And not only that, like I said, his emotion actually conveys over. If T.I. turned up, you turn. You listen to one of his songs and he in the sky, you feel that.
Feel the
You know what I'm
pain.
saying? Then he do the why you want to go and do that, and he talk about how she look or whatever.
Is you happy? That fucked
You know,
me up. I'm
and-
like,
and-
oh,
and-
I ain't gonna take my bitch.
and-
You can't say that.
And
Is you happy?
and his
help me,
emotion
man.
directly affect mine when I
He
listen to
fucked
his
me. I
music.
said, T.I., you a hater. You can't do that, though, King.
Where you at? Who next?
You can't say
Oh, I gave it a
I
I gave it a 10.
Hold on one second. What you got, Rico?
An emotion, I gave it a 10.
Okay.
Because, you know what I'm saying, like he touched, you know what I'm saying, I felt like I knew his homie that died, you know what I'm saying,
In the sky.
in the sky, you know what I'm saying? Felt like he painted a perfect picture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Alejandro.
Alejandro Jamil Morgan, by the way. But go
Yeah,
ahead. What's
yeah.
what you got going?
I gave him a 10 in emotion, but you know, I got to say this again. You can't say that. I know you're T.I.P. international, but you can't say is you happy. You know that. That ain't cool. You can't never say that to,
Where we at?
somebody. If you just trying to, you can't do that, bro. You can't say that, man.
Let's see
you
where we
happy?
going next.
Fuck.
So next we gonna go to Hit Factor. Once again, T.I.P. I gave it a 9. It's hard for me to give it a 10, but a 9 is hella high. You know what I mean? I feel like even though he had radio success, to me, I tell you that's not all what a hit is to me. I actually liked every song on this album. It was a few I didn't like. I actually wish it probably had 2 or 3 less songs, but they was bangers.
Man, I gave it a 10. He did his thing in the features. All the guys on the features, they came with it. Like, you better bring your shit or you ain't gonna be on the album. Simple as that. They came with it, and all of them was bangers except, you know what I'm saying, one that we could pass off, but I gave it a 10.
Yep, you're right. 'Cause that dude said, one of his homeboys said way back in '83, T.I. stayed up
Street for me. That's right.
Damn.
Yeah.
That motherfucker just said that. He got on there, Young Dro. Shout out to Young Dro, too. I gave him a 9, Hit Factor. Everywhere I went, they played it. It was always playing. It didn't have to be the radio cuts. They was playing this album. I might hear Hello.
That's right. Let's go
You know?
to the next one. Lack of time. So let's see what we got going here. Album construction. We almost there. For album construction, for this album, I gave it an 8. It was constructed right. It had everything an album needed. Once again, my only knock, could have probably took a cut or 2 off. Made it a fucking super bomb.
9, like it's solid. Then it's just that one. You know what I'm saying? It's tolerable, but it could have went on the mixtape.
Yeah, I gave him a 8. 8 was solid. For album construction because he could have told a little more of a story. Like maybe with some skits, maybe, but they didn't need it because it's trap music. But if he wanted to put it in there, he could have. I would have, enjoyed that too.
Last category. Once again, on our quest to find the greatest rap album of all time, the classic albums get this bonus category: cultural impact. For me, even though this is an album versus his impact and all, I still gave it a 9. His cultural impact as a all over could be a 10. T.I., like you said, whether he gets credit for birthing trap music, whether he birthed trap music or not, when the South wasn't popping, and you guys will hear me state this a lot, Scarface. He was that man that stood up for the South. He was a person you had to respect in the South. Mm-hmm. When the South was the main thing popping, and everybody from the South was eating, he was their boss. I don't mean no disrespect. Maybe he was the king, or whatever word make you feel better. But everybody from the South was eating, and T.I. was on top.
Yeah, that was it.
So for that, I give it a 9.
I gave it a 10 because of everything you just said. At this point, this
third album.
This was like the pinnacle. He already had killed him with the
under Urban Legend.
Urban Legend. I'm serious. This came out that he was solidified at this point, and it was like, can't nobody say nothing. I mean, no disrespect to Jay-Z, none. At this point, we know how on fire Lil Wayne was. It wasn't even close to me, in my area, who was the man. T.I. was it, hands down, and the movie and shit came out at this time, man.
I gave it a 10. Pretty much just piggybacking off you, that everything he did had his course, and it was just make or break. Third time's the charm. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. This is a solid body of work. What y'all gonna do? We ate it up.
Once again, we are the Midnight Marauders. Follow us on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Midnight Marauders TV.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Smash that like button, please. Please smash that like button.
We are the Midnight Marauders. Catch y'all next time.